Alright guys, so in this episode we are going to be creating the room schema, and we are going to be populating the data and changing it with the constant or the local data that we have for each of these room category. So right now we just have only the users document. So I'll head back to VS Code and I'll go to this schema types folder. I'll create a new one called from ts, and we're going to follow the same pattern we did here. So for this we say export default, and the name will be room. The title will be also room on uppercase. Then the type will be a document, and for the fields this will be an array of objects. Let me add a comma here. All right, so for the first field we'll have the name of the room. So let me just type this in. Say name will be name, title will be also name, then the type will be a string. Then the next field will be a slug. So if you don't know what a slug is, I think it's in this folder. Yeah, so it's slug. But with Sanity, we can easily generate the slug from the name. So we'll call this one name as well and give this slug. The title will be slug. Then the type will be slug. And for this, we need an options because we want it to match the actual name here. So we say options, and for this we set the source for name. Then we can also add a max length. Let me add a max length of like 200. There should have a comma. Then the next field will be for each of the categories. So I'll call this one category. The title will be category. Type will be string. And we also need options for this so that we want a drop down where we can select between different category. And what I will just do, instead of writing all the options here, I will put them in a list. But before I do that, I will just go to the top of this file and create a variable called room types. You can call this whatever you want to. And this will also be an array of objects. The first one will be a title, and this will be luxury room. So luxury, I think it's luxury suite we call it. Then the value will be luxury suite, like so. Then I'll duplicate this 2 more times. Then this other one will be deluxe, and here will be deluxe, and the last one will be executive, and here will also be executive. All right, then for these options right here, we just need to pass in the room types that we created. So we say options and put them in a list, and we just say room types. And lastly, we'll just set an initial value. So let's just put an initial value that we want to see when we import the document. We just set it to the first one, which is the luxury suite. So say luxury suite like so. Then we also need for the description. So we'll say description. The title will be description. Then the type will be text. So text is different from string. Text gives you like a bigger box, more like a text area box. While string just give you that input box where you can input different stuffs. Then for the images, do the same thing. Say image. The title will be image, and the type will also be image. Then we need an options here. So add a property called hotspot. I'll set it to true. Let me add this to workspace. All right. So basically, this hotspot allows you to crop the images or basically edit the images to the size you want. Then we also need an alt field as well, but we'll put this inside the fields array of objects, and the name will be alt, like so. The title will be alt as well. Then the type will be string. Then we also need thumbnail images. So what I'll just do, I'll copy this one and I'll paste it here. I'll just make a few changes. So I'll call this one thumbnail images. You know what, let me just do images. That will be shorter. This one will be thumbnail images. And for the type will be an array this time because we are adding more than one image. And we need this type to be of something. So basically, since the type is array, we'll add another property that say array of something. So we need it to be an array of images. So we just add this like so with square brackets, and I'll open this, and the type now will still be image. Then I think we need this one as well, and we also need these guys as well too. So let me save this first and pull this like so. All right, cool. So the next field is the features that we want to add. So all these that we have right here, we've already implemented it, just like I said. I'm just restructuring the schema or the document in Sanity. So the next one will be features. So I'll call these features, and title will be features. The type will also be an array because we're adding more than one, and it's going to be an array of what now? I think this will be an array of object this time. So the type will be object, like so. The fields will be name, and this should be inside curly brackets. So the first one will be name of icon. Title will be icon. The type will be string. Then the next one, let me scooch this under. For the next one, we'll give it a title. So name will be title. Then for the title, I can't give it title so that it doesn't look redundant. So let me just give it name for just this case. Give it name like so. Then let me add a comma here. I'm getting an error. All right. Then for the type will be string, and the initial value will be sleeps. All those will make sense in a bit when we've imported it to our index file. And the last one that we have right here, let me just copy this one and paste it like so. This one now will be value, title will be value, then this will be adults, like so. And the next one is amenities. So I think it's similar to something like so. I think it's an array of object too. So I'll copy this one and paste it so that we don't start typing everything from scratch again. and rename this to amenities. This as well should be like so. For the field, we'll add is available. Same thing like so, is available. Then the type now will be boolean. Then for this other one, change this to icon. This will be icon as well, and we've done in the initial value. Then for the last one, this one will be name, and this one will be name. They also don't need an initial value. Let me close this out so that I don't get confused. The next field will be the special notes. And by the way, you can skip this part if you feel it's kind of boring. So special note, and the title will also be special note as well. Then the type will be text. So basically the special note is let me open this and open any of the rooms. So the special note will be just this text, like so that we're seeing right here. This will be the special note. All right, so what I will do is to go back and keep on what we are doing. The next one now will be the price. So name will be price. Maybe add the comma here. It should be in quotes, price. Title will be price. And the type will be number. And you can also make each of these fields required, so they must have to fill them. I'm not going to do that, but let me just show you how to do that. Just add the validation property like so. Then we just set a row. Let me add the comma here as well. Insert a row like so, and the row should be of type row from Sanity, and you can just say row dot required like so, and you call the method like so. So on when we export it, this field we need a value before we can publish it. But like I said, I will just leave it out. Then we also need a discount. So let me copy this one down as well. So this one will be discount, and this will be discount. And lastly, we want to just add a field to check if a room is available. So we say is available as well. Then the title will be available for booking. The type, of course, will be boolean, and the initial value will be true, so that all the rooms should be available for booking, and this should not be in quotes. So what we need to do now is to go to our index file and import it like so. So we say room, import it, can save, and now let's allow these guys to load. All right, it has loaded properly now. And if you notice, I got rid of the 2 users that were incorrect in the previous video. So I'll click on rooms, and we can add a new room like so. All right, as you can see, we have all the fields, and I might correct this. Once I finish filling this, I'll correct this to basically change this to lowercase. So let's quickly populate this. Let me use this royal room. So the name will be royal room. I'll paste this here. Then we can quickly generate the slug by hitting on this generate. So we'll get the slug. And what category is this? Don't know anymore. Okay, luxury suit. So you just click on the drop down and set this to luxury suit. For the description, I'll just copy all this and paste it here. Then for the image, I'll quickly populate this image. So we have an image, and like I said, you can easily, I think it's this one. So this is the hotspot right here that will allow you to crop an image to any size you want. As you can see, it says edit hotspot and crop. So I'll close this out because I don't want to crop my image. Then for the altar, we can just say luxury suits, like so. Then for the thumbnail images, I'll quickly add those images. I think we need about 4 of them, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So the first one will be this one. And again, let me just add room here. It can be more descriptive. Okay, so once you are done, click on this X like so. Then you can add another one. Just add random ones. So let me just add this one. Same thing here as well. All right, so we have all your thumbnail images. For the features, the features are basically this right here. So the same thing. This one will be, click on add, and you can see the default name is sleeps and value and adults. So the icon now, we have to go to our constant because I've forgotten what I called them. Okay, the icon will be bed for the first one, and the sleeps will be just like that. Then the value will be 2 adults, so just say 2 adults like so. And again, I did mention you can also like replace or drag each of the images as well, like so. So I'll add another one. So this one will be ruler, like so. Then it's going to be size and 4 square feet. So this will be size, and the value like so will be 4 square feet. And the last one will be camera. So let me close this out, create a new one like so. Say camera, and let me just copy this one, city view. So this will be view, this will be city view. Then you can add more, but like I say, we just have just 3 here. So for the amenities, which is these guys right here, same thing, we'll add, and we'll make this one available. For the icon, the same thing. So I'll quickly do this and get back to the video. All right, so I've added 3 of them, but you can add 6. I'm just testing it out. Like we have 6 here, but you added 3. Then for the special notes, let me just copy this one. So the cool thing now, you can make each of the room have different special notes. Then for the price, I think we use 30,000, but let me just use 300. And for the discount, let's just do 20% like we did. So once you're done, click on publish. All right, the room has been published, but before we check, I just want us to have for each of the rooms. So we just done for, or we just did for, this should be royal room. I don't know why this is luxury suits. Maybe I might check into that, but okay, the type is correct. Then we'll also do for other categories as well. So I think the other category is deluxe and executive. So what I will just do is I will come right here and duplicate this. Then in this is the deluxe. I'll just grab a room from there, anyone. Okay, I think the rooms are the same. So you know what, I'll just call this one comfort room. And it might error out because the details are the same. But you can see that, yeah, getting an error that is already used. So I'll just copy this one and generate a new one and change this to deluxe. And I'll publish this one. Then I'll duplicate it again. And this time, I think I'll just call this one 7 room, like so. And replace it like so and generate a new one and publish. And don't worry if you feel this is repetitive. I'm just doing this so that we can see that it's working. On the next episode, I'm going to add more rooms and make them look different from each other as much as I can. So I think that's all. So I just need to quickly change this one. So go to the room and look for slug and change this to slug. So then we now need to query each of these room or query this room in each of the categories. So I think the first one was luxury. So we'll go to luxury rooms and we need to change how we are structuring this. All right, so I will just call these rooms instead of filter room this time. So we'll just create a new one and say room will be await. And if you notice, we're not adding any async because Astro has a top level async when we're using this code, friends. So we await sanity. This should be lowercase, by the way. Sanity client. And again, let me quickly comment this out so that we don't get errors up and down. So this will be sanity client, and we need to import this. So this one, then we'll say dot fetch. So we want to query our rooms and specifically query for the luxury suite. And the query language that Sanity uses is Grok, and it's kind of similar to GraphQL if you are used to that. And you can do it on this Visions tab. I'm not going to do that. I'll just do that directly on the code. So basically, we need a string or a quote like so. Then we'll need this. Then we'll bring in this asterisk and open the square brackets and add the closing one like so. Then I'll say underscore type. So basically, the type is the type of documents. So basically, we want to query this room document. So we can say room. So, and this should be double equal to not just one. So say room, and let me just change this to double quotes so that we don't get random errors. All right. So if the users, this will be user. So basically, it should match. Where is it again? It should match what is either room user or any other documents that we create later on. So we say room, and we also want to query the category inside the room schema. So that category, we want to query the luxury. This should be double quotes. Luxury suits. I think we called it. Let me check again. So make sure it's the value you're adding, not the title. So it's called luxury suit. So luxury hyphen suit. And again, we want to also query the ones that is available. So we say available like so. Then we just go outside this and open a curly bracket, and we want to query some properties or some fields that we added like so. So what we just need is let me put this in string. We need a slug. So we say slug, and I'm putting this in quote because the slug, it's inside a current property. So you know what I will just do? Let me quickly comment this out so that you see what I'm talking about, and just console log the rooms. So say rooms so and say rooms. And we might get an error here, which is fine. Let me just even comment it out for now. So let me save, and if I open my terminal like so, if I go to luxury rooms, so luxury suites rather, so we don't have anything right here, but if we check again, you can see that we have all the fields on these rooms. So we want to start querying each of these fields from the slug. As you can see, the slug has a current property inside it. which has the value that we want. So these are the fields we want to query for. So you can say slug, and outside it will say slug.current, then add the comma like so. Then you know what, let me see if I can scooch this down. Then I think to get rid of the error, we'll just change this to backticks. Let me just change this to backticks. This might get rid of the error. So this will be backticks. And if this doesn't fix it, we'll look for a better alternative. So this will be name. So also pass in the name, description, category, image, price, discount, and the thumbnail images. I don't even think this is necessary, but let's just pass it. Right now, these are what we can have access to. So I can just get rid of these and bring this back and change the filtered rooms to just rooms like so. Yeah, we think we don't need this one and we don't need this one. Then if over on this, you can see that we're having a TS issue, like that says parameter room implicitly has any type. So we need to pass it the right type. And remember I said we'll be using the types that are being generated from Sanity. So what we do is to open a new tab, and I will go to this page I already have bookmarked. So it's the sanity.io/doc/APIs SDK. So as you can see, it says Sanity type needs to access a static representation of your studio schema to generate types. And you can use the Sanity schema extract, which is this one, and the Sanity type generate. So what I will do is I will copy this, and since we're running both of them simultaneously, I will go to my package.json file, and let me just do it. I think I can do it here, add a comma, and we'll say type gen, and we'll just pass in this one, and I'll go back and copy this one like so and paste it in like so. I can save. So now I can open my terminal, and I think I can do this on a separate tab. So we can say npm run type gen. All right, so you can see the command that we added is showing right here. Then if I scroll down, you can see that it's now extracting the schema, and hopefully when this is done, it's going to generate the types on a folder right here, on a file right here. All right, so it's done. So we've successfully extracted the schema to this schema.json file and generated the types for 13 schema types and 0 grok queries into 0 files. All right, so the only thing you have to keep in mind is that anytime you add a new document, you have to run the typegen command that we just did right here. So just keep that in mind. So I can clear this out now. And if I go to the sanity.types.ts, you will see the types for the document I will have. So we should have only two for now, which is the room and the user. So since we have this, what we just need to do is to go back to our luxury rooms, and we can just pass it here. So we say room like so, and obviously this should be an array because it should be more than one. Then you can see that this is telling me from the lib type, so this is not what we want. So I will just quickly import it manually and say type should be room, and this should come from the sanity.types like so. So we can save now. So then if over on the rooms, we should get the array. Then if over on these rooms like so, you'll see the right data or the right properties that we need. Then I can scroll down, and I think we're getting an error here. It says what? Thumbnails is missing in types. Okay, so I think we called something thumbnails. Let me cross check that. Let me cross check the constant values. Okay, this is where we got it all wrong. So, well, that's totally fine. Let's just check if we have any data showing. All right, so we have the data showing, the description and the button. And don't worry about the slug, we'll take care of that in the next video. So for the image to work, we also need, what is it called? So this is the image library that we want, or the image package. Is called the Sanity image URL. So there are multiple ways on presenting images on your client side with Sanity, but I think this is the most efficient way. So I'll quickly copy this command and go to terminal and just paste it like so. So install this one, and while that is installing, the next thing we do is how to use it. So you can see there's a Sanity image URL.ts file, but I'm not going to use it like so. So I think the way we're going to do ours be a bit different. So I will go to libs folder right here, and I'll call this file URL for image.ts. Again, you can call this whatever you want to call it, and I'll import the Sanity client from Sanity client, and this is as installed. So I'm add the semicolon here, and also import the image URL builder from at Sanity image URL. Then we also want to import the type, because it's going to request for a type, and the type we want to import is the Sanity asset like so. And we'll first of all export a variable called image builder, and this will be the image URL builder that we just imported, and we'll pass in what the Sanity client. And lastly, we export a function that we're going to use to render or present our image, and this will be the URL for image, and the source now will be from the Sanity. It should be source Sanity assets, and now we're going to just return the image builder dot that different method, as you can see. So we'll just pick the image method and pass in the source like so. So we can save this, and now we'll just import or reuse this URL for image. So I'll go to I think it's the rooms listing. Yeah, then for this one, what we just do is to get rid of this, and we'll say URL for, so you can see it's right here. Then we'll pass in the room dot what image, then we'll add this method called dot URL. So if we save now and check back and allow this to refresh, so you can now see that the image is coming in. So what we have to do is to just go back and go to our luxury rooms and copy everything you see here and just replace it with all these other ones that we have. So this should be rooms, and again, don't forget to import the Sanity client and also the room. So they'll get rid of this one. Then lastly, we do the same thing here. So let me bring that back. This should be rooms. Get rid of this one, import this one, and also import this one. I remember I forgot to do this just now, so this should be deluxe. And for the executive, this should be executive. So save. So if we check back on them, so let me go back to the logs. We should get one room as well if everything turns out fine. Okay, I'm getting 2 rooms. I still don't know why that is happening. Then for the last one, let's see. We're not getting any rooms yet. So I think we need to check the category again. So let me go to the room. Make sure the category is executive suits. Okay, this one is correct. Or are we missing anything? Then for the deluxe one. Alright, so let me just quickly cross check. So this one is the deluxe suit. Yeah, so it's available for booking. Yeah. So let me publish this again. And for the comfort one, okay, so for this comfort one, we also need to change the category to executive. And also let me toggle this as well again and just turn it back on publish. So we have the royal room, which is the luxury suite category. What's the category again? Yeah. So the serene room should be the deluxe category, and the comfort room should be the executive category. Alright, so let me refresh this again. So this one is coming in correctly, so we can go to the executive rooms, and now we can see this. Okay, so everything is working fine and dandy. So that's it, guys, for this episode. In the next episode, I will populate this room document with a lot of rooms so that we'll have multiple options for each of the rooms, and we are also going to focus on the rooms details page.